Hey, hey, hey. Here we are again. But what I want to know is, are you ready? No, I mean, are you really ready? Do I see anybody on the comments saying, I'm ready? You have to be ready. Yes, hello. A perfect day for the honeymoon house. Yes, well, I think so. Did anything in particular happen on May the 1st in Elvis history? I don't think so. No, in fact, I don't think we'll even do this day in Elvis history. We'll just throw it away. Hello, everybody. Janelle, I beg your pardon, Flores says, I'm ready. Good. And Don says, ready, Steve. That's okay then. So if everybody's ready, I'm ready. I was very, very sad to hear this morning of the passing of Naomi Judd, who is, as we know, a singer, but also the wife of Larry Strickland, who sang with Elvis Presley on stage in the 70s. And I actually interviewed Larry on this channel, and I have to admit, I have to hold my hands up and say what a great guy, what a lovely, lovely guy Larry is. So I was really, really sorry to hear that. And may she rest in peace, and condolences to all her loved ones and, of course, Larry. Right, where do we go? Oh, yes, of course, this day in Elvis history, Fan of the Month quiz coming up. Also, hang in there, hold in there, baby. Till the end of the show, because I will be telling you, are you the winner of Fan of the Month for April? Have you won the prize? Gracie G says she had suffered with kidney disease for a very long time. That's sad. That's sad now. And Leslie Pilling says Larry is a gentleman. Yes, and R.I.P. Naomi. I agree 100%. Larry is 100% a gentleman. Really, really. And Helen says very sad news. Hi, Bossa Nova. Thank you very much for everybody that supports this channel. And if anybody that's made donations by buying me coffee, it will go back into the channel, as I always say. And if it's me, Steve, I'll need my heart monitor. And why? Okay, well, we will find out later on. And we'll also be doing an interactive poll as well. In other words, you will be able to vote during this live stream on a question that I will pose you. Everybody says hit the like button. Yes, if you can hit the like button. We always try and get as many likes as we can for these live streams, simply because the more it is liked, the more that YouTube show it to people, and the more people get to see, and maybe turn on to Elvis. I'm also busy post-production another video for maybe this coming week, or maybe next Sunday after next Sunday's live show. And I have it's just jogged my memory to say that I hope everybody saw last week's video, which was posted after last week's live. Elvis in Chattanooga, why is he criticized over this photo? And if you haven't, then you can maybe have a wee look after this live stream. It's, well, I just felt it was something that I had to post about. I really did. And another thing that happened this morning was Billy Smith took to his Elvis Fans Matter YouTube channel to try and put a few things straight. So I'm glad to see that as well. I don't know whether actually Billy or Joe have seen my other video on Baz Luhrmann Gets It Right, EPE Gets It Wrong, Elvis Pink Cadillac in the new biopic. Although that being said, I don't know whether I said it last week, but I meant to say it, that it is actually been verified by another member of Elvis's family, not Billy. I must admit now, it wasn't Billy. I want to make that straight. It wasn't Billy that said, yes, Baz has got it right, but it was another member of Elvis's family. So if it's been sanctioned by a member of Elvis's family that Baz got it right and EPE got it wrong, then I feel vindicated. Because I did get quite a bit of flack for that video. So, but however, a lot of it just goes over my head simply because that's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here is to promote the life and career of Elvis Presley. And as you probably know, over the last 20, 30 weeks or so, we've been doing his movies, and we are getting right near the end of them now, because it is The Trouble with Girls and How to Get Into It. But I'll just say The Trouble with Girls because it's too much of a mouthful to say that. And a lot of people are saying, yes, I was glad to see Billy speak out. Leslie Pilling. Hi, Leslie. Nice to see you. Thanks for your chat yesterday that I had with you. Everybody else says, what's Billy Smith's YouTube again? Okay, Elvis Austin. It's Elvis Fans Matter, but don't shoot over there yet, please, because I want you here with me for another hour-ish. But I'll tell you again at the end. There's a few things I've got to tell you at the end. As I said, one of them is, were you the winner of Fan of the Month for April? And we'll be doing May's Fan of the Month in a few minutes as well. So, will we do Elvis, The Trouble with Girls and How to Get Into It, which was his 30th movie. The full title, which is The Trouble with Girls and How to Get Into It, 1969 film directed by Peter Tewksbury. Now, Peter did another Elvis movie as well, Stay Away Joe, I believe. Stay Away Joe. It is based on the 1960 novel Chautauqua. I think that's how you pronounce it. Chautauqua, by Dean Cain and Dwight Vincent Babcock. If I'm not saying that right, Chautauqua, could somebody tell me? But I did actually check it, and I think that the pronunciation was told to me was Chautauqua. Chautauqua. That's it. You sort of break it down into three syllables. Chautauqua. Chautauqua was an adult education and social movement in the United States, highly popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Chautauqua assembles expanded and spread throughout the rural America until mid-1920s. They brought entertainment and culture for the whole community with speakers, teachers, musicians, showmen, preachers, and a speciality of the day. Former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt was quoted as saying, Chautauqua is the most American thing in America. Okay. Right, the cast. Elvis Presley, as we know. Walter Hale. By the way, I always forget to do this. Let's get up some photographs. Oh, dear. In that white suit. Did I just hear a thud, Leslie? Joe? Michelle? These are definitely thud photographs. I'm telling you, thud photographs. Marlon Mason as Charlene. Nicole Jaffe as Betty Smith. Sherry North as Nita Bix. John Carradine, yes. John was the father of David Carradine, Kung Fu and all that, yeah. Vincent Price, yes, as Mr. Morality. One of my favourite actors of all time, Vincent Price. I just absolutely adored Vincent in the spooky movies and the horror movies and things like that. He really was a boyhood idol of mine as an actor. Leslie says, everybody's stealing my thuds. I could hear quite a few going on, actually, Leslie. Yeah, look at that one. By the way, just looking at some of these photographs, does anybody think that some of the photographs taken during The Trouble with Girls, Elvis looked a little tired? Or whether it's just me? I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. He didn't look bad. He didn't look ill or anything like that. I just think some of them he looked a little tired. Well, I suppose everybody's entitled to be a little bit tired. Dabney Coleman as Harrison Wilby. And Frank Welker as Rutgers College Kid. Now, Frank Welker, you might actually be familiar with Frank. He did voices for Scooby-Doo and things like that. So it says, Nicole Jaffe and Frank Welker went on to become regular members of the voice cast of the Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon Scooby-Doo, which debuted on CBS 10 days after the release of The Trouble with Girls. So there you go. Watch out for that. He plays Rutgers College Kid, Frank Welker. And Nicole Jaff plays Betty Smith. Alrighty. That's a fine shot of him there in that blue shirt and white jacket. Okay, the plot: in a small Iowa town in 1927, a traveling Chautauqua, I'm getting there, company arrives with internal squabbles dividing the troupe. The new manager, Walter Hale, Elvis Presley, is trying to prevent Charlene, the troupe's story lady, Marilyn Manson, from not Manson, that's something completely different, from recruiting the performers to form a union. Meanwhile, the town has scandal following the murder of a local pharmacist, Wilby. Although a shady gambler is arrested, Walter realizes that the real killer is Nita, Sherry North, one of Wilby's employees. Walter successfully gets Nita to confess during a Chautauqua performance where she makes public the sexual harassment that Wilby directed at her. Nita's self-defense pleas frees the wrongly jailed man, but Charlene is outraged that Walter used the crime to financially enrich Chautauqua and attempts to quit. Walter attempts to reason with Charlene, but when she refuses to give in, he deceives her and uses the local police force to be sure that she must leave on the train with the rest of the troupe. Now, the development, Chautauqua was the working title, but it was later changed to The Trouble with Girls when the producers worried that the audiences would not understand the title and be able to pronounce it. Well, they're not the only ones. Chautauqua. It's not easy. It's not easy. Filming: Elvis was paid $850,000 plus 50% of the profits. Production ran from October the 28th until December the 18th, 1968. Colonel Tom Parker originally wanted actress Jean Hale for the female lead, but Marilyn Mason was cast at the insistence of director Peter Tewksbury. Ironically, Jean Hale's husband, Dabney Coleman, would later be cast. The Trouble with Girls was released at the bottom half of double features, sharing the screen with Raquel Welch's drama Flare Up. So it wasn't even a main feature by this time. Elvis's films were sort of ranked that low that it was sort of a supporting film, if you like, a double feature. And Elvis didn't really feature a lot in the film. He you couldn't really say he was even the main character. He did spend a lot of off-screen time. Angel Baby says, sounds good to me. Chautauqua. Okay. Reception: The Trouble with Girls performed poorly in cinemas, but strongly on the drive-in circuit. Variety wrote, Elvis Presley is lost in this one. Without the star's usual assortment of 10 to 12 songs, the numbers are cut to a bare 3. The picture has little to offer. Title suggests a gay comedy, but it's a mass of contrived melodramatics and uninteresting performances that do not gel into anything but program fare. Okay. Margaret Harford of the Los Angeles Times wrote that the film never makes up its mind where to go and how to get there. The trouble with the picture is not girls, but its indecision by the writers. The Monthly Film Bulletin wrote the plot's rather curious blend of amateur theatricals, folksy humour, and straight melodrama strains credulity, even for an Elvis film. And the few songs are instantly forgettable. Really? Clean up your own backyard? Almost forgettable? Crazy. Vincent Price makes an odd and quite appealing guest appearance as the itinerant lecturer known as Mr. Morality. I've already mentioned Vincent, and as far as I'm concerned, he can do no wrong. Elvis seems uninterested in the whole affair. Now, the soundtrack. Entering the studio, Elvis found himself in the position of knowing he had the goods in the can with the looming comeback television special. Well, an NBC TV special. I don't know about a comeback. But given that his last 3 singles, You'll Never Walk Alone, Your Time Hasn't Come Yet Baby, and A Little Less Conversation, and the Speedway album all tanked, faced a practically dead recording career. The soundtrack contains some minor songs. Its only distinctive track by Billy Strange, the producer of the session, and Mac Davis. Well, they're probably talking about Clean Up Your Own Backyard there, aren't they? The recording sessions took place at United Artists Recorders in Hollywood on October the 23rd, 1968. Before Elvis recorded his vocals on the 2 recordings for Charo, which he did the next month. So he hadn't even recorded the vocals for Charo and Let's Forget About the Stars by the time he recorded these songs for The Trouble with Girls. That's quite interesting. Clean Up Your Own Backyard by Strange and Davis, their 4th successful submission to an Elvis soundtrack in a row, was the only one released concurrently with the film's release. The single in 1969 peaking at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. Almost would appear in 1970 on the budget album Let's Be Friends. His remake of his Hand in Mine track Swing Down Sweet Chariot would not see release until 1983 on Elvis, A Legendary Performer, Volume 4. The other songs would wait to be issued until RCA's soundtrack compilations of the 1990s combined released songs and outtakes from multiple films on one compact disc. And home media, The Trouble with Girls was released on DVD by Warner Home Video on August the 7th, 2007 as a Region 1 widescreen DVD. So there you are. There you have it. Let's see what everybody is saying. Whiff and Puff's song was Violet and forgettable, but Clean Up Your Own Backyard, Swing Down Sweet Chariot, and Almost are not forgettable. No, they're not. No. How could anybody say that Almost was forgettable? There he is at the piano singing it now, and my goodness me, his voice. Especially, it's just like syrup on Almost. I'm wondering what won the poll, actually. It was probably a shootout between Almost and Clean Up Your Own Backyard. And we're going to see who voted for what and what the poll was in a minute. A shootout between Clean Up Your Own Backyard, Swing Down Sweet Chariot, Almost, and Signs of the Zodiac. I couldn't put Violet or Whiff and Puff song in there. But they weren't really Elvis songs anyway, because you only get 4 choices on the poll. So, let's have a look at what people said about those 4. Ann Y. Hi, Ann Y. Hi, Stevie. Stevie? All good tracks for me. Swing Down Sweet Chariot recorded many years before, as we know, but fits perfectly into the movie within the context of the narrative of the scene. Oh, by the way, I'll be opening the phone lines after the Fan of the Month quiz. If you want to ring me on Facebook Messenger and Instagram, we can talk about Billy if you want, his reaction video today. We can talk about The Trouble with Girls. We can talk about the upcoming biopic, but I won't open them yet. Such a pity Elvis's character wasn't more prominent throughout the movie, says Ann Y. However, in the scenes he was in, Elvis more than held his own. Yes, he was almost like a supporting actor in this one. If you ever get a chance to watch The Trouble with Girls again, he's almost, he is quite way back. Christine Rathbone, Clean Up Your Own Backyard. I found this a bit of a strange film, but I like it. And didn't Elvis look really good in that white suit? Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't know whether the girls have come round yet from their thuds. They could well have needed the sniffing salts. Chris R., student. Hi, Chris. I loved them all, but my favourite from the movie is Clean Up Your Own Backyard. I love the guitar intro as well. Yes, the guitar on Clean Up Your Own Backyard is particularly good. Jonathan Ortega says, I'm in between Clean Up Your Own Backyard and Almost, but I have to go with Almost. All right. I just love that scene where he's playing the piano and singing Almost so tenderly. His voice, they're very rich and sweet. Yeah, that's what I said a few minutes ago. How could Almost be unforgettable? I don't know. Mrs. EAP Elaine, I voted for Clean Up Your Own Backyard. Elvis looking and sounding like he's enjoying performing this one. Love the guitar and the song is so catchy. Bet Elvis enjoyed this one in the studio. Great message song too. Bossa Nova Baby, Clean Up Your Own Backyard, the best, including all takes, especially the undubbed version. Aha, right. Followed by Swing Down Sweet Chariot and then Almost. I don't really rate Signs of the Zodiac, the Whiff and Puff song, and Violet. Yeah, maybe it's just as well I didn't get chance to put them in the poll. Billy Mega says, Clean Up Your Own Backyard wins for me. Great guitar intro and, of course, fantastic vocals. Yeah. Elvis loved the message song too. Lee Ash, Swing Down Sweet Chariot for me. An absolute joy of a song. Okay, Lee. Banjo Paul. Hi, Banjo Paul. It's a very close tie between Clean Up and Swing Down. But the one I've champed for in the poll has made it over the finish line. Clean Up Your Own Backyard. Trumpet, please, Steve, for Swing Down Sweet Chariot. Cheers. Thanks, Paul. Alan Groom, hi, Alan, says Clean Up Your Own Backyard. Makes a clean sweep in the poll. I see what you did there. Clean up your own backyard and a clean sweep. Okay. Well, did it? That's the question. Did it? I will have a look now and show you how the voting went. And here it is. Quite a lot went for Clean Up Your Own Backyard. Over 63%. Then Swing Down Sweet Chariot, a quarter of the vote. Almost 11%. To me, I was shocked to see that almost only got 11%. I thought there would have been a lot. I thought it would have been a lot closer between Swing Down Sweet Chariot and Almost, and of course 1% for Signs of the Zodiac. So there you go. Yeah, that quite surprised me how little vote Almost got, and I will be telling you near the end of the show what I voted for out of those four, and it will be my song of the week. And we will also have photo of the week, picture of the week from Clean Up Your Own Backyard. But we're going to do fan of the month quiz now. And I'm hoping that Earl and Maxine are going to help me out on the moderating to see who gets the answer right first. And thanks to Maxine and Earl for moderating yet again this week. Although Maxine was absent last week, and we missed you, Maxine. We really did. We it's good to see you back again. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share these videos as well. Get the thumbs up, as many thumbs up as we can. Earl is putting a thumbs up there in the comments, but it's actually the thumb below that we can. Okay, right. I voted Clean Up Your Own Backyard. The way he says those words, just amazing. Almost is underappreciated, Steve Elliott says. Okay, so just waiting now for. I'll show you this as well. You'll be seeing quite a lot of this on my social media pages over the next few months. And the reason being is because, as you can see, coming up in August, grand prize winner of Elvis Fan of the Year. So subscribe to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel on YouTube now to be in with a chance, because you can take part in the Fan of the Month quiz if you're a subscriber. And in August, I will be giving away a really awesome prize. When I was picking this prize for the Fan of the Year, I wanted to pick a prize that everybody could use, everybody would love. Me as an Elvis fan, I would absolutely love to win this prize. You know, I mean, I know in the past I've given away vouchers, or I've given away CDs and things like that, but maybe not everybody listens to CDs anymore. Maybe not everybody's got a CD player anymore. But this prize in August, I can guarantee you, whether you're a man, a woman, or a child Elvis fan, you can use this prize. You will love this prize. So this is to you, anybody that hasn't subscribed yet. Please subscribe to this channel. Join in the Fan of the Month quiz. And if you get an answer correct, the first person to get the answer correct, only one question you need to get correct and be first. Your name goes into that. If you're pulled out in August, you will win this awesome prize. Where is Maxine? Saw her earlier on here. Yeah, I know. I saw Maxine here earlier. Maybe she had to go out. But Earl can help me, and I'll keep a close eye as well to see just who gets this right. It's Name the Song again, because last week was the last week of April's Fan of the Month was, I think, general knowledge. There's Maxine. We were worried about you, Maxine. Yeah. So we've gone back to the name the song, which is the first initial of each word. And then again, I think next week I've got general knowledge again. So stand by your beds. And don't forget, whoever gets the question right first gets a...
Yeah, baby.
So question 1 of 6. I'll start with an easy one. Okay. A-A-T. A-A-T. I'll also open up the poll as well after the fan of the month, and you can start voting on that. It's a question about a recording session. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The new dog. Yes. Jack, that's not the one I'm looking for. Sorry. Okay, everybody's saying almost always true. Okay, it's not that. So what I'm going to say is try again. Okay, Norsit45 says an American trilogy. Is Norsit45 the first person to say an American trilogy? If she is, she gets a...
Yeah, baby.
There you go. The Elvis Austin American trilogy, Ruth American trilogy. Sorry guys, for everybody that said almost always true, you might have been correct, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. So Leslie says, "Oh poo." I know. This should really be for me. Because no, Bossa Nova Baby was first. I'll just wait for my adjudicators and my moderators to tell me who was first. I've got Norset 45. Tricky Steve, I know. I pulled a fast one on you. Okay. I'm going to look to see who got it first. American Trilogy. An American Trilogy. You're right. It was Bossa Nova. Oh, Bossa Nova gets a...
Yeah, baby.
Norset. Sorry. That was my fault. Bossa Nova Baby. Yes. Thanks, Earl. Thanks, Maxine. Right. Okay. This one, there's going to be no doubt in this one. There can't be two options. I didn't realize... when I saw AAT, I never thought of almost always true. So, sorry about that, guys. Right. IICD. IICD. Way to go, Bossa. Thanks for being so gracious, Norset. Thank you very much. It's all for fun. It's all for fun. That's what this channel is about. There's some great channels on YouTube, as we know. Scotty, A to Z of Elvis, Elvis Lass, of course, Michelle. If I Can Dream, right? I'm seeing Jack Mullins. Well done, Jack.
Yeah, baby.
And there could be no other. I can't think of another title which is IICD other than If I Can Dream. So just to confirm, guys, for me, but I'm pretty sure it was Jack. Yeah, Earl is saying thumbs up. Well done, Ruth, If I Can Dream. I must watch out for that a bit more closely to make sure that there is no other alternative. AAT, an American Trilogy, and Almost Always True. I'll have to myself. Joe says yes, Jack. Right. Okay. Well done, Jack. Next one. IBOY. That's iBoy. 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 Thanks, Maxine. We should actually call Jack Lightning Jack. Okay, it's I Beg of You, and I'm... I don't believe this. Jack again. Jack.
Yeah, baby.
Somebody's going to have to pull Jack's plug out. His internet plug. Wow, look at all these I Beg of You. Paul. Hi, Paul Gansky. Ruth, little sister, Ludane. Hi, Ludane. Thanks a lot, Lou, by the way. Angel Baby. Yeah. Jack first again. Jack. Good man, Jack. Sorry, Jack, is that your doorbell I can hear ringing? Is there somebody at your door? Question number 4. TBWAL. TBWAL. I had my coffee this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Anway says Earl was first. No, Anway says Earl, I was first. Okay, we'll check that for you, Anway. We will check that. TBWAL. And then Joe says no, Jack, Anway. Anway says Joe was first. Joe, I was first. Well, we will check it, guys. Don't worry. We will check it. I check it on a Sunday or a Monday sometimes. By the way, if you can see that I'm not actually shaven, it's because I've got a holiday tomorrow. It's a holiday. The Brits, we call it a bank holiday. And I've got Bossa Nova Baby. The bullfighter was a lady, which is quite correct.
Yeah, baby.
So it wasn't Jack this time. It was Bossa Nova. I'll just say one thing as well, guys. Make sure that you have live chat selected and not top chat, because that can sometimes throw it out, because top chat you only see some replies. Live chat you see everything. I like that one answer there, which was the bullfighter was a loony. I do like that reply. In fact, just for it's going to get this. The bullfighter was a loony. Right. Okay, so Bossa Nova, I believe we've got that right. I didn't know that American Trilogy is an American trilogy. Yeah, it is. It's an American trilogy. Right. So, a short one this time, if everybody's ready. As I say, we will be checking for these answers, but I'm pretty sure that I've got it right so far, which was Bossa Nova got the first one, Jack got the second and third one, and Bossa Nova got the fourth one. So it's a real boxing match between Bossa Nova and Jack this week so far. Don't forget, you can all be winners, because you've only got to get one question right. Be the first person in the 12 months between September and August, and you go in to the hat for Elvis Fan of the Year 2022. And as I said earlier, everybody can use this prize. There's not one person that couldn't use this prize, male, female, or child. It's great. It really is. Yes, it is. It's only for fun. Yes, I agree. Right. So next, this is a short one. Question 5, SMB. S for Steve, M for Mother, B for Bertie. Now, yes, we're all friends here. Of course we are. Welcome aboard, Elvis Lee boy. Yes, welcome aboard, everybody. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and click the bell. Okay, I've got Skelet Elvis, Smoky Mountain Boy. Okay, and that's what I want. I want Smoky Mountain Boy. So well done, Skelet Elvis. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, baby.
Smoky Mountain Boy. And somebody put Stand By Me. That would be ST. That would be SB. M. Wouldn't it? Stand By Me. Yeah, no, Stand By Me would be SBM. Yeah, don't know. Ruth, Stand By Me. No, SMB. Okay, Smoky Mountain Boy. Our Earl's giving me the thumbs up for Skelet Elvis. Congratulations, Skelet Elvis. Your name is in the pot for the Fan of the Year competition. Prize, as is Jack, Bossa Nova, and anybody else that's been first over the last 12 months. So do not worry. Do not be downhearted. If you've just got one question right and been the first, you will win this. You could win this fabulous prize, which I say, whether you're a male, female, or a child, you can use this. Smoky Mountain Boy, yes, it is actually a good song, and I think it was my song of the week from Kissing Cousins. I really do. I really do think it was my song of the week, because it's one of those ones. You hear Elvis singing it, and that's it for the rest of the day. Yes, Little Sister Says from Kissing Cousins. It's just, and it's just running through your head. It's great. I know the people around me probably don't like it because I'm singing it all day long, but there you go. Helen Ludlow says, Scratch My Back is another, the same as Smoky Mountain Boy. Yeah, it could be Scratch My Back. Yeah, one I was looking for was Smoky Mountain Boy. It's what I've got written on the sheet. So yeah, so that's two now that we had crossover. We had Almost Always True and American Trilogy. I'm going to have to watch myself a lot closer than this. Right, there's probably only one that fits this criteria, and it is WNOSA. WNOSA. I've been doing these for quite a while now, and I've sort of avoided crossovers in songs, but tonight, two of them. Can't believe it. So, WNOSA. Who is going to be the... Is anybody going to step in and stop Bossa Nova and Jack running away with it this week? We've got Where No One Stands Alone, and we've got Jack just before Anne Y. Now, I'm seeing Jack literally just before Anne Y. So, Jack, you got it. Where No One Stands Alone.
Yeah, baby.
And I'm going to put Jack. Okay, so that's 3 to Jack, 1 to Skelet Elvis, and 2 to Bossa Nova. So, guys, well done. You're in the hat. Wow, look at all those Where No One Stands Alone now. Well done, everybody. Well done. We'll do the poll next. I'm going to launch the poll, and we'll also open the phone lines in a second, but I just want to go through the poll first of all. And it is, and it'll come up now. Hopefully. There you go. Which is your favourite song from the March 72 recording sessions? Always on My Mind, Separate Ways, Burning Love, or For the Good Times? Alrighty? So I'd love for you to vote on that. I'd love for as many people watching to click on one of those. And it's always on my mind, Separate Ways, Burning Love, or For the Good Times. March 72. That was right before he went on tour. And they filmed a mock recording session, didn't they? Where he was singing Always on My Mind and Separate Ways and so forth. So yeah. Yeah, I want you to pick one of those. And I'll tell you what I would have picked as well from those 4. Open the phone lines. Yes, open the phone lines in case anybody wants to ring in and chat with me about anything, Elvis. Maybe you want to talk about the biopic, or you want to talk about Billy's, if anybody saw Billy's video, or if you want to talk about the trouble with girls or anything like that, you can ring me now free of charge on Facebook Messenger or Instagram. But we will do the Elvis history. Even though nothing much happened on the 1st of May. I've got pictures as well, of course. Get those ready. 1955, Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium in New Orleans. There you go. At obviously Louisiana at 2, 5 and 8 p.m. Elvis began with a 3-week tour into the new territory as he traveled to Florida and the Southeast. 1956, the New Frontier Las Vegas engagement. Now, I don't know whether it was a flop to say it was a flop, but it didn't go on as long as it should have done, I don't think. Was he booked for a month or something and it only went on for 2 weeks or something like that? I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. But, it was, as he said, it was strictly an adult audience. It wasn't the audiences that he was sort of used to, so it was maybe just a little bit too early in his career. And believe it or not, it was 1969, as we know, until he performed in Vegas again, with him tied up in the army and then the movies and so forth. But I don't know. I wouldn't call it a flop. I would just call it maybe a little bit of a miscalculation on Colonel Parker's. What a great shot that is. On Colonel Parker's behalf, I believe, anyway. 1957, there was a soundtrack session scheduled at MGM Soundstage. An often repeated story of how Elvis left the studio after lunch on this date, after management told the Jordanaires to stop singing spirituals with Elvis, as it was holding up the planned sessions, has been found to be false. A recently discovered recording log from this day reveals that Elvis at least attempted to record I Want to Be Free in the afternoon, recording 4 takes before giving up, only after rehearsing in the morning. The demo of Young Hearts was also played to Elvis and the band before the session finished at 4 p.m, although originally intended to be recorded at some point during these sessions. Young Hearts was eventually not used at all in the movie. So, that's only recently been discovered that story didn't actually happen. That according to that, he didn't walk out in a huff. We all know that Elvis hated recording on sound stages, and 2 days later, on May the 3rd, he was back at Radio Recorders and the sessions progressed smoothly. So I don't think the reason why he walked out was because management told him to stop, told the Jordanaires to stop singing gospels with him. It was because he just wasn't comfortable on the MGM soundstage. 1962, Elvis resumed filming for Girls, Girls, Girls at Paramount Studio on stage number 5. 1964, Elvis went to Paramount for some publicity stills and met Larry Geller there. These were publicity stills for Roustabout, of course. Larry had promised Elvis copies of several of the books used that they had discussed, including The Impersonal Life. Elvis continued to read and reread this book over and over again until his death. 1967. Anything happen on the 1st of May 1967? Yes, it did. This is what happened. 32-year-old Elvis Presley married 21-year-old Priscilla Beaulieu. After midnight, the wedding party left for Las Vegas in 2 jets, and at 3:30 a.m., Elvis and Priscilla obtained their marriage license at the Clark County Courthouse. The marriage license was only $15. The wedding cake was $3,500. Converting the 1967 cake dollars into 2020, the cake cost $25,548, an inflation rate of 629%. The ceremony was held at the Aladdin Hotel, followed by a press conference at the Aladdin Room. And Elvis gave his new bride a $4,000 ring that featured a 3-carat diamond surrounded by 20 smaller diamonds. She gave him a plain gold band. Priscilla's maid of honor was her sister Michelle. Joe Esposito and Marty Lacker were dual best men, but the rest of the Memphis Mafia were conspicuously absent because they hadn't been invited. The ceremony was followed by a reception for 80 guests. All members of the entourage were there except Red West, who was so furious about his exclusion from the ceremony that he didn't have contact with Elvis for the next 2 years. Caused a bit of a rift, obviously. 1968, Elvis and Priscilla had their first wedding anniversary. It was catered by the deli restaurant at the house. Priscilla received flowers from Elvis with a card saying, "Love, Elvis." 1971, Elvis and Priscilla spent their wedding anniversary in Palm Springs. 1975, right, look at this for photographs. Elvis performed at the Omni, Atlanta, Georgia. And there's some great photographs here. A very dark suit, not everybody's cup of tea, but it's obviously not a jumpsuit. It is a suit, as you can see. It's a two-piece. He's trying on a lady's hat there by the looks of it. And there's a cuddly toy. There was always people giving him cuddly toys and things like that. That looks like that is that an elephant? It looks like an elephant. But yeah, great shots. And that's Elvis at the Omni Atlanta in Georgia. This day, 1975. Then we have 1976. Elvis performed at the High Sierra Theatre, Lake Tahoe. And we've got some photographs here. State Line, Nevada. Now, it's been said that Elvis wasn't particularly well that day, May the 1st, 1976, but he looks fine to me. Looks absolutely fine. Hair a little bit longer than normal, but such was the fashion in 1976. But no, to me, he looks fine. Okay, so those are the photographs from 1976. 1977, Elvis performed at Chicago Stadium, Chicago, Illinois. And again, some great photographs. I think the first few are a little soft, a little out of focus maybe. But there are some better ones coming up. See that one with Charlie in the background? I've actually seen that labelled as Elvis and Jackie Kahane. Now, I don't know why somebody would think that's Jackie Kahane. It's obviously Charlie. So we'll just have a look at these. I think there's some sharper ones coming up in a second. That one's a little soft as well, unfortunately. These are fan photographs, of course. There might be a couple of professional ones coming up in a second. Don't forget to vote on the poll you can see on your screen. Unfortunately, if you're watching this on replay, you won't be able to see the poll. But I will tell you at the end what the result was. Maybe I haven't got any really crisp shots of this particular concert, but good all the same. There's Charlie again. And the reflections you see behind Elvis are actually binoculars. He always thought they looked like frogs. I think he said that in the 1974 Memphis concert. Those people with the binoculars look like frogs. And they do. They kind of look like frogs with caught in the headlights. Blasting out a song there. I always like to see Elvis blasting out a song on the stage. So, pick of the week from The Trouble with Girls, and I picked this one because it's probably a thud one for the young ladies. I'll listen out for the thuds again. He just looks like a boss there. That's my term when I see somebody like that. The blue shirt, white tie, white suit, the cigar, the hair. He does look a little bit tired. That's one of the photographs I said earlier on that I thought Elvis was looking a little bit tired during some of the photographs during the making of The Trouble with Girls. And I say, don't forget, which is your favourite song from the March 1972 recording session? Always on My Mind, Separate Ways, Burning Love, and For the Good Times. There's still a couple of minutes left to vote on that. I just wanted to clear that off. I was listening out for the thuds, by the way, for that. Mrs. EAP Elaine says, Big Boss Man. Yes. Joe Hanley says, oh my, so handsome. Gracie G says, that's so funny to see those. I wouldn't have been able to guess those were binoculars. That's what they are, believe it or not. Yeah. Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Hello, Steve. Not too bad yourself.
Yeah, doing well.
Good. I liked the film, Chubby Girls. It's a different type of film.
Do you think that he wasn't in it as much as his other films? He almost had a bit part in this movie, didn't he?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, he was kind of in and out of the film, back to the film itself. Yeah, he was.
I'm wondering what the reason was for that. Whether it was just that they were just thinking, look, the game is up. Let's just get these movies done and out.
He may be so. He may have just, thought, yeah, well, I'll take part in this one. But the next one, he's in it all the time, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So it's you don't know, do you? You'd have thought they'd both be the same, but it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't know. It may be just the plot of the film. I don't know. It was a bit. I like the start of the film, like black and white and stuff. It was quite different to an Elvis film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I like that part to it, and he looked great. Well, it was the start of that 1969-70 look, wasn't it?
Yes, it certainly was.
Yeah. I'm not sure as well. You might know, but that suit he was wearing, was that the suit that they dressed him in for his funeral?
No. Because I'll tell you what, I know what you're asking. It's going to be very, very similar. But Vernon didn't give him that suit until Christmas 1976.
Oh right.
But yeah, right. You're quite correct. It was a white suit. I think it was a blue shirt and a silver tie. I believe he was dressed in the casket.
Tie, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was similar. I just wondered if it was the same suit. Because. He's probably only wore. He probably only wore it that once for that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't know, do you really?
No. Tell me this. What did you vote for in the soundtrack?
The soundtrack for me was a hard one.
I know.
Yeah. I got a soft spot for Elvis singing "Always on My Mind," so I went for that one.
Right.
Yeah. I just, his vocal on it was great. But of course, Burning Love was a great track because it was a rocky number, and he hadn't done one like that for a while, had he? And then Separate Ways again. It's a great song as well. It's the good times as well. But I would say, Always on My Mind for me. I think it's a great track.
You see, unfortunately, that session was predominant, or they were all melancholy songs apart from Burning Love, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Unfortunately, now it was probably because of what he was going through at the time. Priscilla had recently left. It was only a month before those sessions that she told him that it was over. She confirmed what he probably already knew.
No, yeah. I'm trying to think of some other songs he sang in that session.
There's another one I couldn't put in, which was "It's a Matter of Time."
It's a matter of time. I was just about to say that.
And where do I go from here?
Yeah.
So, of course, for the Good Times wasn't used immediately. You see him singing it a lot in Elvis on Tour, but it wasn't used immediately.
No, and of course we have got him singing it from a bootleg, haven't we? Him on stage in the blue suit.
And they're singing they're singing it in the car as well.
Yeah, in the car as well. Yeah. It's a shame we can't get all that in its entirety, isn't it? Really, it's a shame. But hopefully, we might do if this film hits off well and it makes a big time. We can all get some more of this Elvis on Tour stuff that we want. And
I was speaking to a young lady yesterday who's actually on the chat at the moment, and she was telling me that she went to see Downton Abbey, but they showed the trailer of the movie, the biopic, before Downton Abbey, and she said, "My goodness, seeing it on the big screen is just another thing again. You see it on your phone or you see it on your laptop, but when you see it on the big screen as well, it's another thing altogether."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's mind blowing. Yeah, it is. And like the more people who go to cinema who might not be Elvis fans, but see it thinking, oh God, this looks good. I'll come and
Yeah.
see this because it's like the other films I've gone to see, like the Queen one and stuff, isn't it? So,
Yes.
Yeah. So on the big screen, all the sound and everything. Yeah, it's going to look tremendous. So
Yeah.
I can't. To be honest with you, Steve, I cannot see this film failing.
No.
I can't.
No.
I can't. I think it'll generate Elvis again and new fans and
the only thing is people say, well, it's probably nailed on for an Oscar for either Tom or Austin, but there's no such thing as a nailed on Oscar. Oscars have been very funny. You think, my goodness, how that film didn't win an Oscar in the past. We've thought, and then just so I'm not going to really sort of hold my get my hopes up about the Oscars yet.
No, if I thought it was going to win an Oscar, it would probably be for the director. I can't see it being for Tom Hanks or the other, the young lad Austin.
Yeah,
I think it would be for Baz, But I'm sure that both of them will play the parts well, and we'll get a great, some great scenes out of the movie from both of them because they're both. Well, we all know what Tom Hanks is like anyway. He's a great actor, isn't he? So
Oh yeah.
But I think it'll be successful, and that's the main thing. And that's all we want, to bring it forward again, and then.
Actually, you've just reminded me of something. There was a video on YouTube posted a couple of days ago, and these two lads had been to, is it CinemaCon, and they'd seen some footage that nobody else had seen. And they couldn't say too much because I think they were bound by confidentiality. But they were saying, this is just going to be, this is going to blow your mind away. It really is. I think it was 8 more minutes of footage that isn't included in the trailer. So check that one out.
Yeah, what just intrigues me for the film, which I kind of expect what to see at the start and the 50s and maybe the 60s. And when it goes into the 70s, I just wonder what it'll be like when we'll probably know what we are going to get at the start of the 70s stuff. And Elvis, that's the way it is and whatever. But it's at the end, whether he attempts him, to do a song like Hurt or Unchained Melody, if you see anything like this, a little.
I'm pretty sure that Unchained Melody is going to be in there because you hear it briefly during the trailer, don't you?
Yeah. You wonder, if you are going to get a really bang out song that he did towards the end, and it's going to be something different because obviously you're going to watch this film, and you're going to be, and then you watch it back, and then you'll watch the Kurt Russell film again, and it just won't be a comparison.
Yes, that's right.
Even though the Kurt Russell film was so good, back at the time. But
yes, it was good. It was good. It was good for the time, but we've sort of moved on since then.
That's it, and I think this film is just going to, be tremendous, and you'll think, well, they missed that in that film, whatever. But it looks like Baz has got everything right.
Yes,
he said about the car and everything. That's all correct, and and my little point of view on that thing you put up last week. I can't see Elvis.
The photograph in Chattanooga. Yes.
No, he didn't know she was there.
Not at all.
She was on the one side of the counter, and he was the other. It was a shot, wasn't it? Just taken.
Yeah, I mean, she could have only just walked in when the photograph was taken, or she could have been there before Elvis came in. I mean, nobody knows the context of it, but for people to say that he was racist and all this is just completely wrong.
Well, it's crazy. Well, they're not Elvis fans. He was brought up in the black community. So he can't be, can he? He can't. But
Yeah, some people will always want to pull him down for some reason.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
All right, Mark, well, thanks as always for ringing in. All right, cheers.
Bye. Take care, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's another thing, actually. I wanted to say something struck me during the week. I've seen a few comments where people have said they've seen the trailer and they're not going to see the film. Okay, that's fair enough. But to me, that's very, very strange. That reminds me of the sort of thing that happens when, a toddler, a small child, and you ask them to try something at the table, a new food, and they say no, and they haven't even tried it. So how do they know that they're not going to like it? Hello.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Well, Leslie, good to speak to you.
Are you all right?
Yeah, not too bad at all. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What would you like to talk about?
Couple of things. I just wanted to mention Billy Smith's video on YouTube this morning.
Oh, yes.
very pleased that he's come out and put the record straight about certain things.
Okay.
Because I've been banging on for an awful long time saying that, you know, a lot of people who do research, many who are very well intentioned, but if there are people that were around at the time, they should ask them
Yeah.
to, you know, sort of qualify what they're saying. And it's important that history is written and it's written correctly.
I agree 100%.
You know?
I've been asking around. I don't know whether actually Billy or Joe have seen my video yet to see if Baz is right on the color of the Cadillac, but that's something I would really be interested in finding out, you know.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I mean, obviously Billy would know that, wouldn't he?
Yes. Well, we think he would, although he would have been quite young. How old would he have been in sort of 1955, 56? He would have been about 7 or 8.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, because I think, well, maybe a bit older, maybe he'd be 9 or 10, because he's always been quite small.
Yes.
And on the photos that Al Wertheimer took,
oh yes,
Billy's there.
That's right.
They were back at, was it Audubon Drive they were?
Yes, well, that's one of my favourite photographs. Elvis is on the phone. In the background, you can see Vernon shaving. And then at the bottom right-hand corner of one of the photographs, you can just see Billy peeping up. And it's one of my favourite photographs. That's
right. Maybe if I'm ever chatting to Danielle, his granddaughter, maybe I can ask her about the car.
Yeah, because you know, I'd love for Baz to be vindicated, because I mean, he's invested so much time and effort into to this movie for us fans. He's a fan himself, and then for people to start picking it to pieces just because they say, oh, that color isn't right, because you look at the car now in the Graceland Museum, it must be right, and Baz is wrong. You know.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I made a comment the other day that, you know, now's the time for Elvis fans to come together. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't remember a buzz like this in the Elvis world for decades.
No, this is a biggie.
You know, it's big.
Yes.
And like Neil said the other week, it's our last chance. You know, so we've got to welcome new fans in and not have infighting within the Elvis community about silly little things.
Yes, that's right.
You know,
well, as I was saying just as you rang, I've seen some people, they've watched the trailer, and then they, on the strength of the trailer, they said, "I'm not going to see it." And I say that's almost like a toddler at the table refusing to take some new food, and they haven't even tried it yet. How do they know they don't like it?
Exactly. I mean, people have even said, just because Priscilla's commented that it's good, oh, I'm having nothing to do with it if Priscilla's involved. And it's like, just a minute.
Yeah.
Are we adults here or what?
Exactly. Now, you went to the movie theatre yesterday, did you? Is that right?
I did.
And you saw the trailer on the big screen.
I did. Oh, I mean, I had a bit of a thud moment when I was queuing up for the popcorn, because I heard this familiar sound in the background and turned round, and it was playing on the small screen in the foyer.
Oh wow.
So that was the first time I saw it, obviously, and then I went in the theatre for the movie, and the Elvis trailer was the first one they played. And it's absolutely stunning on the big screen.
Wow.
Stunning. And the sound is incredible. You can actually feel parts of it, if you know what I mean, because it's so like loud.
Yeah.
And immersive that you can feel it. And also, I don't know who was asking. Was it Mark who was just on now asking about whether Unchained Melody would be in the movie?
Yeah, well, he said he thinks it is, and then I said, well, as far as I'm aware, it is, because it appears in the trailer.
Yeah, well, as an aside to that, there is a website where they are listing props that were used in the movie.
Oh, right.
And I know Michelle's had a look at it, and Joe's had a look at it, and I've had a look at it. And there are actually some Coca-Cola cups there from the Unchained Melody scene.
Ah, right.
You know, they're actually on the piano. When
yes, they are.
Yeah. Well, those are props from the movie. And we've seen those. So we know that'll be there somewhere.
Brilliant. What's the name of the website?
I think it's called, is it Our Movie Props or Your Movie Props? Something like that. I'll send you a link if you like.
Yeah, and just in case anybody wants to check that out, if you search Your Movie Props and see how you get on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Also, I did want to mention about The Trouble with Girls.
Oh, yes, please.
a few years ago, we had a Circle G Foundation display at an event in Blackpool, and Marlyn Mason was at that event, and she had her table opposite ours. So I got the opportunity to spend quite a lot of time with her during the weekend.
Yes.
And she had nothing but lovely things to say about Elvis and the time they'd spent together on the movie.
Well, I've tried to get Marilyn Mason on the phone, actually, not on the phone, on the show, but she's not very active on social media these days.
No,
unfortunately.
No.
But she's another one that I would love to get on the show.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady. She was really nice. She was and still very, very beautiful. You know, she's a stunning looking woman.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen photographs taken only a couple of years ago, and as you say, she's just beautiful.
She is. She's lovely. She's lovely. But she was so, you could tell she thought a lot about Elvis. She really did. She liked him. Yeah. She really liked him. You know.
So, what gets your vote? Always on my mind. Separate Ways, Burning Love, or For the Good Times?
For the Good Times.
For the Good Times.
Yes.
That's unusual now. That's unusual because, I would have thought it would have been either Always on My Mind or Burning Love, but For the Good Times, it's a good one.
I love For the Good Times. It's just such a special song. I just love it.
And what about the movie song, Trouble with Girls?
Almost.
Another good one. Another great one. Yeah.
I just think it's it's simply beautiful. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's stunning. And his voice in it is like honey dripping off a spoon. It's just.
But it only got something like 11% of the votes or something in the poll, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 11%. Yeah, I was surprised at that. Very surprised.
I said on my comment, I knew I'd be swimming against the tide when I voted for it. But
well, I tell you, I agonized over two songs in the poll. And Almost was one of them, and I'll tell you in a few minutes what came out tops.
Right.
It wasn't. I find that these polls, when there's a lot less songs to choose from, when there's things like Blue Hawaii, when there's 14 songs and things like that, but when you've only got 2 or 3 songs like this, it's very, very difficult.
It is. I mean, I spoke to Marlyn Mason about Signs of the Zodiac because I just love watching that.
Yes.
And she said they had so much fun doing that. It was, he was tickling her and he was doing all sorts that,
Well, I've heard some I've heard some outtakes from the soundstage, and it does sound like they're having a great load of fun. Yeah.
She said they had an absolute ball.
Right, Leslie, it's such a pleasure to speak to you, and thanks for calling in. Please do call in again, okay?
All right then, take care.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, something else I want to tell you about the biography. I could have something very, very special coming up about the biography in a couple of weeks if I get permission to do it. So I will keep you informed about that. But it is something very, very special. But I can't say anything else in case I don't get the go-ahead. Now, obviously, it's not that I'm going to show it to you or anything like that. But it's quite special. Quite special. Now, my song, will we close the poll? I see there's been quite a few votes on it, and we'll close it. Which is your favourite song from the March 72 recording sessions? Always on My Mind, Separate Ways, Burning Love, and For the Good Times. And would you believe that Always on My Mind did not win? It was Burning Love, 33%. 32% was Always on My Mind. Separate Ways, 22%, and For the Good Times, 11%. So it was so close, only 1%. Skeleton Elvis, 20 DKK, whatever DKK is, I'm not too sure. Coffee and Elvis. Thank you very, very much. That will go back into this channel because all donations I try and put back into the channel. But that's very, very kind. Thanks, Skeleton Elvis. Now, let me do my song of the week. Oh yeah, I'll give you another heads up about this. Elvis Fan of the Year 2022. All right, you'll be seeing that a lot on my social media pages in the next few months, because I want to remind people that if they do want to be in with being the Fan of the Year, they should subscribe to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. My song of the week from Trouble with Girls was written by Mac Davis and Billy Strange and published by Gladys Music Inc. It was released as a 7-inch single in 1969 with The Fears Moving On the B-side, but not featured on any studio album. The single was also released in the UK, Canada, Germany, Australia, New Zealand and India. It reached number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 21 on the UK singles chart. The RIAA certified the single gold in March 1992. The song was included on the budget RCA Camden album Almost in Love. Although The Trouble with Girls is set in the 1920s, several lyrics within this song are anachronistic for the era, such as a reference to armchair quarterbacks, a term not coined until the advent of television sports broadcasting decades later. It is, of course, Clean Up Your Own Backyard. And I agonized for a long, long time because I also love Almost. I absolutely adore that song. But I also adore Clean Up Your Own Backyard. It was nearly flipping a coin at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, and it's quite controversial for 1968-69. I mean, there's reference to drugs, of course. There's reference to alcoholism. His eyes all red from the wine in his head. There is definite reference to infidelity and cheating on his spouse. With his employee. So yeah, it's a message song, that's for sure. Take 6 was the master take and overdubs were applied to it. Now somebody actually mentioned in the comments on the poll earlier on that the undubbed version is great, and I'm going to give you the link below for the undubbed version. You know me and overdubs, so I will put the link for that to the undubbed master below. In 1981, a new version of the song appeared on the Guitar Man LP with a completely new orchestration added to Elvis's vocal track, and I'll link that below as well. Felton Jarvis did that. And now we need to do winner of Fan of the Month for April. And we're going to have a drum roll. The best I can do, I think, is a one of those, which is, it isn't a drum roll, that's a rim shot, isn't it? So who wins the prize for April for Fan of the Month? And I can tell you that is our friend, again, Jack Mullins. Jack won the March Fan of the Month, and he also wins the April Fan of the Month. So I'm throwing down the gauntlet, people. Do not let Jack get a 3 in the row. Do not let him get a hat trick. Do not let him win May's Fan of the Month. I'm only joking, Jack. I really am. But you know what I mean? Come on, people. Do not let Jack get in there for 3 in a row. Right, we've done the poll. We've closed the poll. I've given you the results. And what I have to say is coming up next week is Elvis's final dramatic role, feature film, his 31st movie, Change of Habit. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really am happy about it. Thanks to the callers. Thanks to everybody that took part in the quiz. Thanks to Maxine and Earl for moderating. And until next Sunday, please look after yourself. Have a good week. If you do want to donate, you can buy me a coffee using the link below. Take care, everybody. See you next week.